Hello and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews with me, George, and this is the second instalment of Heavy Relics, a new idea of mine where I can basically, if you're interested, show off a few of my latest treasures, vinyl, CDs, cassettes, whatever it is, things that I've found, little treasures in amongst all the millions of pieces of rubbish and nonsense out there, trawling through eBay, sifting through all those warped, bent, scratched, battered, dog-eared, rubbishy condition things out there, sifting through all that and finding what I consider to be real steals, real gems. And I generally don't like to pay too much. No one does. But I generally like to try and get those really good deals, that pay a few quid for something. That's better than paying through the nose just for the sake of having it. No, I like to really dig deep and see what's out there. So I've actually got 4 vinyls today that I want to show off. Got 2 of them were in a little bundle together, and the other 2 rather, were individually sold. But I'm very chuffed with these finds. So I'll start off with a copy of 1977's Specters by Blue Oyster Cult. This is a top-notch album, really good album. Show you the back there. It's not in bad condition considering what I paid for it. I'm not going to go into money too much, but I didn't pay very much. A few quid, a few pounds, okay, a few bucks, whatever you want to call it. And it's not in bad condition. A little bit sort of battered and bruised around the edges, but considering this is 1977, this album is 45 years old. It's not in bad nick for that age. The inner sleeve, however, has seen better days. That has aged not quite so gracefully. If you can see there, it's come away at the edge a little bit, and it's got quite a lot of little spots and age damage. Not damp, but it's a little bit of discoloration there. But the important thing is that it's BOC Specters. This is a great album. This is a really great album. I don't have a copy of this on CD. I have heard it before on Spotify, but or YouTube, wherever it was. But I really wanted to have a copy to supplement my collection, and I'm very happy with this. This is an original CBS 1977 copy, and it's a great album. Some really killer tracks on here. Godzilla, Golden Age of Leather, Fireworks, Are You Ready to Rock? What an absolute stormer that number is. And I really do like Celestial, The Queen, and Nosferatu. Again, really good tracks. Really good tracks. We've got a great lineup here with Eric Bloom, vocals and guitar. We've got Joe Bouchard on bass, vocals, guitars. Donald Rosa, lead rhythms, vocals. A lot of different vocal contributions from different members with BOC. That's kind of one of their signatures. Alan Lanier on keys, and Albert Bouchard on drums, vocals. Don't know if I've already mentioned him. But yeah, it's a good album. It sounds great. The actual record itself is in really good condition. There's a few little crackles here and there, but there's no jumps and skips or stops or anything like that. There's no major scuffs. It was just a little bit dusty, but once that dust was brushed off, we've got a great copy for hardly anything. Really was just sort of spare change, really. What an album to have for so little. It's a really good one. I think it's probably one of my favourite BOC albums. I have to say, I've only listened to it a couple of times, but it's a really memorable one. Lots of memorable songs on there. So up next, we've got, going back to the UK for this one, we've got from the mighty UFO. Take this out the sleeve there so it's not so much glare. We've got Obsession, UFO, 1978, a year later, going here. We've got great lineup here, of course. We've got Phil Mogg on vocals, Michael Schenker, the legend, on guitars, Pete Way, another legend, on bass, Paul Raymond on keys and guitars, and Andy Parker on drums. This is an original Chrysalis Recordings copy as well, in really good condition. The edges there, little bit bad maybe on the corner, but not bad at all. Not bad at all. Spines, seen a little bit of damage there, but nothing major at all. Again, this was a few quid, hardly anything, and it's a super album. Such a weird cover. But then I think that's a signature of the times, and certainly of UFO. Their covers don't generally make a huge amount of sense. What the hell's going on? I mean, just look at the cover of Heavy Pettin' or Fawcett. What's going on? What's with all the taps? But yeah, so here we are. Obsession, UFO. The album plays brilliantly as well. There's hardly a mark on it. It's in really good condition. The tracks, Only You Can Rock Me. What a great album opener, and just a brilliant UFO track. It's just a brilliant hard rocking track. And I think that's the interesting thing, actually, listening to this album, which I had heard a few of the tracks, but I hadn't heard the album in full until actually buying it on vinyl. But you listen to this album, you listen to Specters there, and you consider the time, 1977, 78, you can see the progression in heaviness and how albums like this must have had such a big influence and a big impact on what was then going to become the new wave of British heavy metal and just heavy metal hard rock, turning things up to 11 and amping up the heaviness. You know, you can hear the influence and that progression there, and it's great. And this is a really good album. As I say, Only You Can Rock Me, great number. Pack It Up and Go. Looking Out for Number 1. Hot and Ready. You Don't Fool Me. It's some really good numbers here. Really good stuff. A very strong album by a great band. And I'm very happy with the condition of this one. It's in lovely nick. It's just a good artifact to have. A good treasure to have. A heavy gem. And I'm very pleased with that one. So I've got two more, but technically three. So this is a bit of an interesting find, because I found this when I was searching quite high and low for a copy of the legendary, absolute genre-building icon that is Rainbow Rising. I have a copy on CD, but I wanted a copy on LP. But it's not just Rainbow Rising. Oh no. This is a Polydor double album featuring the legendary Rainbow Rising and the iconic first album, the self-titled Rainbow album, or Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow album, in a lovely gatefold. And you still get the, try and show you here, you still get the back art of both LPs in there as well, which is great, because you don't feel as though you're just sort of getting a cheapy reissue. And I think this must be quite a rare article. I haven't seen any others around. Certainly none in this good a condition. Well, actually, I say that. I haven't seen any. So, for all intents and purposes, this is the best conditioned one I've ever seen, because it's the only one I've ever seen. But we've got a sticker there, big sticker. It does say peelable, but I am not going to risk that. Double back, special value, original album series, Rainbow Rising, and Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow. Also available on cassette, I'm sure, for extortionate amounts of money these days. Some collector. But what a great piece to have. The records themselves are in really good condition as well. Not a mark on them, really. It's just plain paper inner sleeve. Just wanted to remind myself there. But even the inner sleeves are in really good condition. I'm not sure what year this came out, because I've struggled to find it. I've looked on a few sort of seller sites and things, but I haven't been able to find one to compare it to. So if anyone out there knows what year this particular one came out, I'm assuming it came out probably around the same time or a little bit later than Rainbow Rising came out. But please correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know. If anyone else has a copy, how does this compare? Is it in better nick? got a slight mark across the front here, just a very slight indentation in the corners of, you know, they've seen action, but it's not bad at all. And what a great thing to have. The first album is a really good album. You've got some good tracks on there, of course. Man on the Silver Mountain, one of the classic Rainbow tracks, in my opinion. Black Sheep of the Family, Catch the Rainbow, Snake Charmer. So you've got some really good songs here. And of course, this is 1975. So this is, you know, I would say that it was probably a bit ahead of its time. But when 1976 rolls around and we get Rainbow Rising, it turns everything up to 11. With the classic lineup there, Ronnie James Dio, one of the best vocalists in heavy music, or just in general, one of the best voices ever, in my opinion. And I know a lot of other people share that opinion. But Ronnie, rest his soul, was one of the, and still is, one of the best voices. You know, his music will always live on. And what a man, what a voice. Total power. Of course, we've got Richie Blackmore, Cozy Powell on drums, Jimmy Bain on bass, and Tony Carey on keys. The tracks. Yes, there's only 6 numbers on here, but Tarot Woman, Run with the Wolf, Starstruck, Stargazer, A Light in the Black. These are really great songs. These are absolute classics, and it's absolutely the part. And I'm so pleased to have got a copy. Absolutely. Produced by Martin Birch, I believe. I think they were. I'll double check that. I certainly know that the next article was produced by Martin Birch, legendary producer for a legendary album. He's got quite a few to his credit. But Rainbow, Long Live Rock and Roll. Again, you can't see it, but it's not embossed, but it's quite a textured card rather than just that glossy finish. And this is a lovely gatefold album. 1978. Absolutely not photoshopped or doctored there at all. That was a totally genuine banner. Not. But it looks great. This is a great gatefold. The album, the rest of the sleeves in great condition. Really good condition. You know, there's a few marks on the corners, but I paid very little for these two together. Very little indeed. It looks the part. It looks the part. And the record itself is in great condition. Yep, this was Martin Birch, of course. But the tracks here, Long Live Rock and Roll, what an iconic track. Instantly recognisable, you know that's Rainbow. Lady of the Lake, Gates of Babylon, Kill the King. These are Rainbow classics. You've got the rather un-Dio LA connection. His voice is definitely better suited to Dungeons and Dragons and, you know, elves and goblins and wizards rather than LA connection. It's a little bit of a change for him, but it's still a really good track. It's a really good number. A little bit more commercial perhaps. And I've got, this one's very nice because it's got the insert as well still, and that's in great condition. It's a lovely piece. So I'm so chuffed with this. This is Thames Music, I believe. Polydor. Yep, so it's 1978 Polydor. Sorry, I was confused with you instantly look for the bottom corner, don't you, for the label identification, but got it on the front there. Polydor 1978. Great album, and I played this just the other day, and what an album it is, and it sounds so ahead of its time. I was really surprised with just how good it sounds. It's a heavy album. It's a heavy rocking album, and it's definitely heavy metal in its infancy, I suppose. By this point, it's heavy metal. Well, perhaps not in its infancy. Heavy metal in its early life, shall we say, early years. Definitely ahead of the time, in my opinion. just like Rainbow Rising 2 years previously. What an absolute stormer that is. So, as I say, I didn't pay very much for any of these. I'm very, very chuffed with these albums and the condition. If anyone else out there got copies, certainly of this double pack, let me know when this came out. I'm sure it's probably quite a sought after collector's piece, and I'm very happy to have a copy myself. There we have it. That's 4 of my latest finds, trawling through eBay, as I say. Certainly got a lot more stuff to work through as well. I like to listen to the album before I would then say this is in great condition, because at the end of the day, it's all about that disc itself, the actual record, how well that plays. So thank you for watching. Any comments, feel free. If you enjoyed the video, a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated. And if you want to hear and see more ramblings and reviews from myself, I've got a few different things I'm working on, so if you enjoy it, please check back. Thanks for watching No Nonsense Metal Reviews. Heavy Relics. Take care, my friends.